What is up, fellas? JPS delivers here. Doing a recap. Well, not really a recap, but just overview what's going on so far in the season. Been a while. Madden NFL 08. It's a Panthers squad. I mean, this is by far the best team we have, but screw that right now. Let's talk about this historic season. 12 games played so far for this New York Giants squad with LT, LaDainian Tomlinson. 59 catches already, almost 700 yards just receiving. That's better than most guys in the NFL, but he has 2,100 yards on the ground, 18 touchdowns. He has 9 receiving. I mean, Mike Vick was the best player in the NFL last season. In our first season, it was just one of those situations. You got Randy Moss, Devin Hester with the special teams specialist. It's just this team was just orchestrated really well. It turns out the players really gel well with one another. But it's just, right now, it's hard to win MVP when you have that kind of season. Dude already has nearly over 2,800 total yards. I mean, there's Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson, the Eagles, sounds kind of fucking cool to me. I don't know about y'all. That sounds pretty cool to me. San Diego with Ronnie Brown out of Auburn. Dude's having a solid season himself. I mean, another running back in the top 5 voting for MVP this season. Now for Defensive Player of the Year, DJ Williams with the Steelers getting things done. Joey Porter with the Bengals, so he stayed within the division, but now he's getting things done for the Bengals. They're 5-7, so God knows he's got plenty of opportunities to get tackles as they're on the field for, I'm pretty sure, most of the game. Now looking at the offensive rookies right here, Thomas Hickson and Nidstrom and whatnot, but defensive rookie. I think the Seahawks have themselves, he was the number 1 overall pick. This Seahawks team is trash. Number 1 overall pick last season. They're 1-11 this time around. I'd imagine that means that the team somehow got even worse. I think Donovan McNabb, that's what their team was last year. I'm sure he's most likely the quarterback still now. But just looking at these short lists now of just positional players, one of the best centers of all time right there, especially one of the best centers of his era. Leading the way, best linebackers, of course, DJ Williams. It just makes sense. If you're going to be head of the defensive MVP race, you should be ahead on your positional race as well. But Michael Vick, there's going to have to be a lot of stats compiled for these last couple of games. This is technically every team should have about 12 games played, since, of course, when you simulate the week, it doesn't even matter if Monday Night Football already technically happened. They're going to postpone your Sunday football game. And I don't know why it does that on simulation or whatever, but it is what it is. Looking at the standings, Raiders and Steelers and Titans and Chargers, top 5 for their conference. It is basically 2 of the best teams of their conferences. Giants, of course, with LT having that sort of season. The man's on pace for like 2,700 yards. It's just insane. The team's 11-1, so it should be interesting to face this Giants team in the playoffs. Again, remember, they are the number 1 team in the NFC, and then now going up against this 8-3 Oakland Raiders team. Who is that? Jonathan Ogden. I'm pretty sure that's Jonathan Ogden at left tackle for this Raiders team, because that man, it's like Deuce Bigelow when the policeman, or whatever the terminology is, if y'all can remember what the name is for the policeman who hangs out in the courtroom and whatnot. He's like, Behemoth, doing that shit. That's basically what you're gonna have to call Jonathan Ogden at that point. The dude's like 6'9", 6'10", 340, 350, and when you're that height, it's not like some shit to where you're looking at offensive lineman who's like 320 and like 6'2". There's just such a vast difference in that physique. But let's get to it right here. Opening drive of the game, they elect to receive it. I believe, no, this was actually a really long drive for this Panthers team. Gonna have to settle with 3 points though. And Brian Westbrook, a solid dual threat running back on this team as well. John Kitna at quarterback. Plaxico Burress right here is gonna make himself known. And that's not the only catch he's going to have on this game. Nice catch right there for a first down. But it's going to be Aaron Ross out of UT, who I believe won the Thorpe Award that season before he got drafted by the New York Giants. I think Aaron Ross also, if I've mentioned it already, I'm sure I have a couple times, Aaron Ross is also the one to where his wife was an Olympic sprinter, I believe, and I think she participated in mainly the relays, but she was technically faster than him, and the dude ran like a 4.4 or 4.3. That's pretty gross. Probably top speed faster than him, I wouldn't say. She'd probably beat him in a 40-yard dash. But speaking of the quick little 5-yard dashes, it's going to be a nice little scamper right here by Michael Vick after getting a stop for this team with that Aaron Ross interception. It's going to be 10-zip early on in this game. John Kitna, he's going to have troubles in this game, but at the same time, this might be the most opposite-like game of a Blake Bortles to where you find the man compiling a ton of stats, but at the same time, he's compiling a ton of stats for both interceptions and touchdowns, and it's going to be opposite of Blake Bortles because this man's going to ball out pretty early in this game. And speaking of balling out, it's the man that, if anybody remembers, with Devin Hester, what they did is they gave him 100 speed. I think it was the first time they ever did that with Madden. As long as you didn't try to edit him, then his speed was going to stay 100. And, when you're 99 speed anyways, you're going to blow past people. But I thought that was a cool little thing they did with Devin Hester with that Bears team that lost to the Colts, I believe. Or, I think it was the Colts had won the Super Bowl the year before this game had came out. But a nice catch by Mr. Williams right there. John Kitna, they're able to move the ball a decent amount to start this game. But LaRon Landry out of LSU gets the pick. It was a user pick on that one. I like it right there. You just kind of bait the quarterback into throwing it to the tight end when you're running a cover right there. Tight ends just ran a quick little hitch route on the play. But Brian Westbrook, I don't know why they would have their star offensive player at running back returning it, but apparently they're starting running backs having fumbling troubles. So there's a good chance that anybody would have fumbled that ball right there. And honestly, not many people can guard Randy Moss right there. I felt like the only thing that was going to get in the way was an inaccurate pass, and not able to do it. And then right there, just not good judgment by Benjamin Watson. It was holding on the play, but it didn't matter. That's why I didn't show it. It's going to be 4th and 5, but Mason Crosby getting things done after one impressive rookie season by the kicker with some Sebastian Janikowski youth-type performance, and going up against the Raiders in this one. So makes sense, but terrible play. Williams blows past Darrelle Revis. I did just a terrible play on defense by jumping up, that awkward jump up, and it's just going to give up 6 points and eventually 7 after the extra point. But Mike Vick holding on the play. We talked about this center, but at the same time, y'all tell me how to pronounce his name. But also, too, that's some Zach Wilson, Patrick Mahomes shit. I know Mike Vick has a legendary arm when it comes to quarterback strength, but what a toss on that one. It didn't convert. Maybe if it was thrown to Randy Moss, if he wasn't tired or anything, tell me in real life if Randy Moss is going to be out on 3rd down. I don't care how tired the man is. I don't expect Randy Moss, unless he's playing for the Oakland Raiders. But kick is good right there. They capitalize off the points. And I know we just played Michael Vick and with that Houston Texans team in the Super Bowl. But, this just seems unstoppable in its own right. But that Madden 07, the man's got like 90-something awareness. Because even this, for a 99 overall quarterback, mind you, he's got like 93 speed, Mike Vick does, in this game even. And his arm strength is obviously amazing. But his throwing accuracy isn't the greatest in the world. But his awareness, that's not that big of a quarterback cone for his vision right there. But it's huge. Y'all check out Madden NFL 07 with the Houston Texans in the Super Bowl. We also show a little bit with his attributes and whatnot for offseason. But right here, Griffith on 3rd down. I really don't think y'all let me know what you think. I don't even think he got in, but it is what it is. All it has to do is break the plane. It didn't look like it broke the plane, but again, no pylon image at that point. And then right here, Ike Taylor going to take it to the house for a 2nd pick 6. A man who started off the game quite strong, I have to say. More of a couple blown coverages. Some bad judgment on my part on trying to bat the ball down with Darrelle Revis and company. Maybe a bad play with Ross as well. but still another bad play is it's going to be a bad play now by Ike Taylor. So a couple of these guys in the secondary making good plays all game, but unfortunately not able to make good plays when it matters. And speaking of that, Ike Taylor gets owned. Honestly, he did his job right there. It wasn't as bad as that one time the Jaguars had that Houston Texans safety bat the ball down, but he didn't really bat it down. Led to a Hail Mary to win the game. If y'all remember David Garrard doing that. And then a beautiful play right here by Benjamin Watson. I didn't even know he was going to catch the ball. I should have just anticipated it. It's like playing FIFA. When you make that pass for the guy who's cutting down the field, you might as well anticipate that he is onside. Because worst case scenario is you score a quick goal with it's a one-on-one opportunity to the goalie. You might as well try to attempt to score a goal. And then bam, you get a good goal on that one. But again, these guys are just getting burned. I don't know what it is. I know they're younger guys at cornerback, but I know also too, they're faster players. Like I said before, it's that awareness and speed. That's all you really need to look for. The jumping's important too. I know Ernie Sims, speaking of great speed for an outside linebacker in general, out of Florida State, Ernie Sims, nice interception right there. So the horrible last two quarters continue for John Kitna and company. Like I said, reverse Blake Bortles. It wasn't a bad start, leading to a good finish. No, this is a decent start, leading to a terrible finish, and make that an interception now by Darrelle Revis. So him, Ike Taylor, and then Mr. Aaron Ross. But speaking of just beautiful connections right here in general, nothing they can do about it. The man's leaping out of the building. I think he's got 99 jump in this game as well, getting things done. The great connection we saw from last season between these two is just going to continue. This team's success is continuing, 9-2 against an 8-3 team. I know they're at home, but still, 51 points on the board at this point. Mind you, 3 of them have come from defense and special teams. But, I mean, you get plays like this, and it's no chance for the other team. No chance for the other team. Booker, hey, exceptional play by Mr. Booker. It's going to be a touchdown for this Panthers squad. Definitely about 95% of this play is made by Michael Vick to evade the pass rush. Not really much of a pass rush. It was just there was a shit ton of time to deal with right there to where the offensive line could not hold. It's just that point where you're going to get called for holding if that's the case. But right here, not the best of passes. I could have thrown a complete dart to Benjamin Watson. We know how fast the dude is, so if he can catch it in the open field, he's pretty much 88, 89 speed, which is like the equivalent of like 98 speed, 99 when it comes to a wide receiver or running back. But speaking of Mr. Benjamin Watson, I did a hot route right here to make him just cut across the field. That way, he's not running on the same side as everybody else. Maybe it was a little bit of form of trickery. It worked out. 112 yards on the day, 5 receptions. Now the second touchdown catch by Benjamin Watson. And then it's going to be another interception. Mr. Aaron Ross is going to take it to the house. And yes, I do believe that this is his second pick 6 of the game, as he also gets a sack, I believe, in the game as well. Carolina wins 72-31. It did set a record on my PlayStation 2. I don't remember what the previous record was, but this Panthers team, I mean, last time we showed a video with them, this is the best team we have in any of the series, I think, with Madden's. It's just hard to beat right there, total offense. So, look it, they beat us nearly 200 more yards of total offense, mind you. Maybe we're just not, it's not as urgent for us to move the ball down the field. But that's the difference maker right there. You're going to win any game like that. Maybe you score 72 points in an NFL game by getting 7 takeaways with this offense. Still a decent game by Mike Vick. 28 passing touchdowns before the game today. No interceptions, had the 3 touchdowns. Not quite 250 yards as you're expecting from him, especially a guy who won MVP last season. Right behind LT. I don't know how he's going to catch him, but maybe we can play a couple games with him to see if we can do some David Robinson pettiness like he did to Shaquille O'Neal for the scoring title and getting 71 points against the Los Angeles Clippers. But Randy Moss just quietly gets, 2 sick catches on an 87-yard day for 4 catches as well. But it's definitely Benjamin Watson on that one. Great game by him. LaRon Landry leads the team in tackles, has a pick 6 with that one as well. I think he had a sack, but a solid game overall. Ray Lewis on this defense. So this is really actually a solid Raiders team we just beat. Williams, 11 catches, 6 catches by Plaxico Burress. A lot of yards, but unfortunately a lot of takeaways from Mr. Kitten. As always, fellas, take it easy.